Hello everybody, welcome to your scouting report on SoundersFC.com. I'm Arlo White. What a week for the Sounders to be heading to the nation's capital for a game on Wednesday night against DC United. Offensively, there are signs of life from DC United, especially when you compare it to the side from last year who managed only 21 goals in 30 games. Defensively, completely different story for DC United this season. They've conceded 4 goals in 3 of their past 5 games. Defensively, they are in turmoil. The game is being played at RFK Stadium, an historic arena and a place where the Sounders traditionally have done very well indeed. 3 visits to RFK Stadium in the Sounders FC history, 6 points in Major League Soccer, and a US Open Cup final victory as well. Let's remind ourselves of those heady days at RFK. Let's go back to September of 2009. The Sounders lead DC United in the US Open Cup final by 1-0. Late on, Sebastian Letou across for Roger Levesque for what was effectively the winning goal in a 2-1 victory. A great moment for Roger Levesque. Let's take it forward 10 days. This is the league game. The first MLS visit to RFK. And there's Fredy Montero with a fantastic goal, a 2-1 victory and 3 points again for the Seattle Sounders. 2010, the Sounders went into this game, 1 win in 7. The season was going nowhere. It needed a boost and it got one. Look at this in the final minute of the game. Fredy Montero to Roger Levesque again. Doesn't Roger Levesque really enjoy playing at RFK Stadium? 2 vital goals, and maybe he can come on the field and make a difference as well on Wednesday night. So it's a happy hunting ground for Sounders FC, but they will be very aware of the new goal-scoring threat provided by Charlie Davies. US international striker Charlie Davies has enjoyed a fabulous return to Major League Soccer after recovering from those horrible injuries that he suffered in a car crash. 5 goals, 3 of them from the penalty spot, but he looks like physically he's back to his absolute best. This was recently in the game against Toronto FC. We'll pause it just there. Look at the pressure that the DC United players are putting on the Toronto backline. They forced a mistake by Borman and the ball, terrible pass in field, goes straight to Charlie Davies. We'll play it on here. Davies strides forward. Chris Pontius is on his left-hand side. That's a lovely ball through to Pontius. We'll pause it just there. Pontius with the attempt on goal. Stefan Fry will make the save, but look who's lurking here. Charlie Davies, and we'll play it on. And Davies able to use his athleticism to slide the ball into the back of the net. That was his 2nd goal of the season from open play. He's still got his pace, there's no question, and his desire. He knows, like all strikers, good strikers do, that you need to be there to clear up the scraps in the penalty area. What about his pace? He did suffer awful injuries. He's done tremendously well to come back and play pro soccer to this level. Has he still got his pace? Let's have a look, because I think he does have. Long ball forward from the back here, and look at Davies go, tearing through. Decoy Williams here does catch up with him, and it's an excellent save in the end by Stefan Fry to deny Charlie Davies. So Davies is one to watch out for as a striker, a very, very good player, but he's not DC United's only threat coming forward. You may remember Chris Pontius from DC United's 3-2 victory over the Sounders at Questfield last year. He scored 2 goals. It was a rare bright spot in a troubling season for him. He had a persistent hamstring injury, but off-season surgery seems to have put that right. He plays on the left-hand side in a 4-4-2 formation, but he's not a natural winger. He does tend to play quite narrowly, but he is a big threat. Look at this. He played superbly in this game against Toronto FC. Here's Pontius, early on in the match, goes on the outside. Look at that for a terrific left-footed finish into the corner of Stefan Fry's net. Very direct, knows exactly what he wants to do. He's confident in his physical ability now and technically a very gifted player. So he's not always hugging the touchline. Let's have a look at this. He played very well against Toronto FC. Here we find Pontius in this situation here. Quite narrow, positive header. Gets the ball back straight away and then tears down the centre of the field. And it's Harden who fouls him, and Harden gets a red card. So Toronto down to 10 men, already 2-0 down. So Toronto down to 10 men in this game. Chris Pontius is goal hungry. Look at him here. He picks up the ball on the edge of the area, thinks about going for it left-footed. He cuts back to his right. What a superb finish that is. So Chris Pontius can use both feet, and in an attacking sense, he is a very big threat to the Seattle Sounders. So they are struggling at the moment, DC United. There's no question about that. Consecutive times they've conceded 4 goals in a match, but in Chris Pontius and of course Charlie Davies, they do have some big threats coming forward. So we look forward to your company on Kong 616. The kickoff is 4:30 on Wednesday at RFK Stadium in the nation's capital. Be sure to tune in for the pre-game show, which starts at 4 p.m. Pacific time. For SoundersFC.com, that was your scouting report. I'm Arlo White, and I'll talk to you soon.